I mean, over the summer of 2009. The voices didn't come back or anything until, I want to say, like August of 2009. And at first they were I'm not sure, they weren't they were anyway, they didn't come back until 2009. And I had gang stalking outside of my place, and I was spending a lot of time in Michigan, where my grandmother has a summer home, and I was getting away from that. And during that time period, I was trying to keep a record of what the voices were saying and stuff like that, and it basically boiled down to I had a YouTube account called Go and Tell Pro version 2.0, and they wanted me to. I had put the gang stalking into Russian, and they staged a car accident outside of the chemical engineering building where I went to school, and they staged a car accident outside of there where a taxi cab driver was hit by a postal delivery truck or something like that, and the guy was hauled off in a stretcher, and they told me to undo the conversion of my COINTELPRO Pro videos from English from Russian to English, and they weren't really happy with that website. So sometime later they asked me to take it down, and I complied with them. What happened was that the voices told me that or revealed to me that they were CIA, and they revealed to me that they were CIA, and they had me they decided to stop the gang stalking, and that if I had quit giving up a couple things in my mind, and one of them I'm too embarrassed to talk about, and the other one was about drug synthesis. I would go over in my mind, drug synthesis. So by giving that up, they stopped the gang stalking, and they revealed to them that they were CIA, and they wanted me to they were controlling my body. They were wanted me to work for them, and that sort of stuff. And so they put me through a one-day training course where they had me doing room clearances and stuff like that with a flashlight, and I was holding the flashlight like this and going through the room and pretending to shoot. I would see a visual image of an enemy soldier or something like that, and they would tell me to shoot and stuff like that, and they took control over my body. They had they had the robotic, the robo controls, I call it, and they took control over my body, and so it wasn't all me that was doing this stuff. And so I was doing room clearances, and then they had me go swim into the lake at night. And then, because I was in Michigan, and they had me swim into the lake, and they wanted me to swim to the public beach and then go up and break into someone's home. And when I got to the person's home, they had me, stand outside for a long period of time. The voices, they had me stand outside for a long period of time, and until I started showing visible signs of hypothermia. And because it was October, and it was in the lake, and it was in nighttime. And the first time I went to the person's home, I set off the burglar alarm. So it was an outdoor burglar alarm. It wasn't indoors. Didn't make it that far. But so they had me go back and to my place, and my grandma's place, and redo the room clearances. And then at a later time, they had me go down again and swim in the lake. And I swam in the lake, and I went down and did the room clearances. I went down and swam to the public beach, went up the stairs, and went to that person's house, and this time passed the burglar alarm, and I made it to the front door. And at the front door, they asked me to break the window, and I didn't comply because breaking the window was just too out of it for me. So I went back out, and they got upset at me. And when I returned home, the police were looking for me because my grandmother, had woken up in the middle of the night and found that I wasn't sleeping where I was supposed to be sleeping. And so what happened was they had called the police, and the police found me in upstairs in the bedroom, and they said everyone's okay and everything like that, so they're not really needed here. So they decided to leave. And so the voice was upset with that. And so I tried to sleep that night, but I really couldn't sleep, and I only got about an hour of rest where I was resting, but I wasn't sleeping. And then after that, I was woken up, quote unquote, and in the morning, and I went downstairs, and I remember 2 cookies for breakfast, and then they had me do push-ups until I started to scream, push-ups. And they did they showed an image in my mind of a face, a smiley face with the eye slanted down, which represents someone who's more sadistic or something like that. And so I remember that face, and it's pretty funny. And